Oh, yo, I wanted to give a little backstory of why we came to Cypress Island, just north of Anacortes. So last year, very first year, we did this whole hunting thing. Did not really go on a deer hunt. We were trying to do every animal possible. And big game, you have to even plan more than small game. You have to go out during the spring and summer, and you have to scout the area. Okay, so it's August, and we're coming up to an island in the San Juans. No, it's not Little Bill Rest in Peace Island, but it's another island I haven't decided if I'm going to disclose. And you can hunt any deer here. It's only reachable by boat. So Corey and I are, it's August, something like August 10th, I don't know. But we're coming up on this island and we're gonna do a little scouting, throw the crab pots in, have a dude's night. But we're officially on a scouting trip for Islandia. So we're gonna get up there and scout probably tomorrow. We're gonna scout this thing and see what we can see for deer and possible places to hunt. Okay, on the island and doing some little recon. So if you notice, these cliffs right up here are great places to put up a blind. Axis of this whole area. So if you notice the thick brush, what that tells you is, there's the Puget Sound. What that tells you is scopes would not be beneficial. So when you try to look through a scope, just like binoculars, it's picking up different, this close branch and that far branch, and it's always going to be blurry and it's going to be hard, which is fine because we're muzzle loading, and in our state you can't use scopes on muzzle loaders. Put up game cameras in the game trails to see where the deer are migrating and moving. You check that. You clear lines of sight if you're in it, and then you put your deer stand, where you see the animals moving. And it's a whole thing. So anyway, coming into year 2, I've never shot a deer. So what I did is in April, when the state released all its information on seasons and what game management unit, GMU, it's kind of like a county but for hunting, like what's allowed. And this island had the rules were any deer. And in Washington, that's very unusual. We don't have a population of deer like I do where I grew up in Wisconsin, which is much easier to get a doe tag. And so it's very rare to have that here. And so I thought I checked that box, yes. So the next progression, because we weren't beginners, the next level would be to scout it. And Corey and I actually scouted. I talked to a guy who, during the scouting trip, who said he's hunted this island 5 times in the last 20 years. And he's got a deer 3 out of 5 times. He did say that he has not hunted this in a while. I don't know what that meant, a while. So I'm doing this video after the fact. So at the end of the video, you'll see my little closure piece. But so we checked it off. It could have any deer. And it could have, and we scouted it, checked that box. And, and when we scouted it, we did not have a lot of time. You have to understand, you have to get, it's a boat trip, several hour boat trip, and staying overnight. And we didn't walk too far on the island, but we got up and we looked around. It looked very promising. All the signs pointed that there's deer. And that's why we picked Cypress Island. So that's the preview. Here we go, everybody. You know what it's all about. Doug Live. It's September 22nd, 2022. Here we are at Cypress Island. Cypress Island. I'm gonna lay down camp right there. Here is our hiking path. And here is our firewood for our fire tonight. And Trevor's on the boat. Corey's going to get all my camping stuff and ferry it over. And Trevor is helping. Look at this, what an epic night. Look at this. It doesn't get any better than this, am I right? So we are officially muzzle loading on this island. And it's a big boy. It's a big boy. It goes way around there. In fact, what you see in the distance there, that's not the island. It's not that big. That right there is not, whoa, that doesn't work. That, what you see way back there, that's not the island, but it is huge. It's a huge island in the San Juans, Washington. Most epic state there is. We're gonna hike up there. We have a big hike up this mountain to old airfields. And we're gonna hunt black-tailed deer. Well, they dropped me off. Here I am alone. They dropped me off. It's my first night alone. Here I am. I have to forage alone. Let's see. There's Trevor honking. Oh, let's see. Oh, look at you. I can when I'm alone on the show, whatever washes up on the beach you can use. What do I got? Oh my gosh, what's in here? It's a whole bag of food. Oh, chocolate chip cookies. Oh my gosh, what else washed up on shore? Beef jerky. Oh my gosh, what a find! What a find! Here I go. It's my first night alone, and I already got beef jerky and. All right, I gotta build my shelter. It's almost dark. Oh, I gotta get my shelter up. This is my temporary shelter, so I gotta hustle. Gotta build a fire and have my temporary shelter. Oh my gosh, look at all the stuff that washed up on the beach. Let's see, what's this? Muffins and juice? What? Wow! What is this? Must have been a shipwreck. Holy mackerel. I might last 100 days. I have to build the rock house here. Look at this. A picnic table's here too. Wow, I got the best spot in the whole group. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. What else washed up on the beach? What's this? What could be in here? Oh my gosh, a chair? Another chair? 2 chairs? And a cushion to sleep on? What? Oh my gosh, look at it. It's a bunch of pillows and blankets. How'd that not get wet? Damn. Okay. Whew. All right, I'm gonna let you go and so I can use 2 hands and build my shelter, okay? Okay, so here's the airstrip. Looks very promising. Bad news is we didn't see one game trail on the hour-and-a-half hike up, but this is very promising. So we'll make a game plan for tomorrow. Now we know what we're looking at. Hey, so I wanted to take this video as soon as possible. It's 2:30 p.m. I've been up since 4:30. We came up to the airstrip. We got here a little bit later than we wanted to, right after daybreak. But it was a grueling hike up here. Anyway, I've been hiking 12 miles today, and it's been very dejecting. You know, one thing you don't see on these hunting videos, you see everybody killing things, and you see me doing that too, and all excitement and, you know, the thrill of the hunt and blah blah blah. What you don't see is the brutal grind coming up empty. No, I'm not crying, I'm just in the sun there. So yeah, I wanted to get my thoughts on camera when they're fresh. I'm pissed. Not pissed. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed. This was my find, and so I feel a little bit extra disappointment because of that. The bottom line was we did everything right. We didn't have, we couldn't, there wasn't a lot of accurate records online for the deer. What's the situation recently? You know, COVID, and I don't want to throw all these excuses out, but COVID really shut down a lot of the data collection. And the nail in the coffin was Corey and Trevor took off. I went to the other side of the island for another 5 miles hiking because I wasn't going to give up. And because they wanted to go watch the Cougs game. And I actually came here to hunt. Anyway, I get a call from Corey. He ran into a hiker who's been, who actually lives on the island. He's been here, his family's had property for 40 years. He said he hasn't seen a deer in 5 years. So very dejecting. So, you know, I was still in the hunting mode until Corey called me. And, you know, there could be a couple deer running around this ginormous island, but there's definitely not a big population. Not only did I didn't see a deer, none of us saw any scat, which is deer poop. And the very few and far between game trails were kind of like grown over. So either hunted out, died of disease or something, but these island deers are dead, gone, long time ago. So on a day of hiking around with my gun, 12 miles. Now, my mom taught me to be an optimist, and right now I'm not very optimistic, but I will tell you one thing. My feet are sore, but all that training from the spring and the summer at Forest Park, you know, this is not a flat, you know, the islands of the Puget Sound are not flat islands. So there's some mountains here. We had, I think the highest, we're well over 1,000 feet. And remember, we're starting at 0. And we're, Corey and I are old, out of shape. So, but 12 miles of hiking up and down rigorous terrain. I'm pretty proud of that. So I guess I don't want to think of anything positive right now because I'm pissed. I'm not dragging out a deer. I'd rather be exhausted from hauling out a buck. But you know what? When I get that first deer, I'm going to remember this and say it's part of the grind, baby. It's all part of the grind, and you're welcome. And win or lose, you know what it's all about.
Look at the size of that stump. I mean, that's impressive for an island tree. You can't even see the whole thing. The trees are in the way. That's impressive.
Doesn't this look like little Bambi would be frolicking in the forest? Either that or Bilbo Baggins jumps out. Looks like we're in the Shire. Anyway, sometimes now that I'm done, quote, hunting, I don't have to be so hyper-focused for movement and signs and blah, blah, blah. I can actually enjoy this hike. It is gorgeous, but as I've said before, I hiked the Pacific Northwest for 3 decades extensively, and now I like hunting, not hiking with a gun. Anyway, just to give everybody a visual, we stayed right here. That was brutal. That was a tough hike all the way to the airfield, and then the airfield is obviously flat. And then I hiked here all the way. I hiked about, oh God, I'm glad I stopped, because I stopped here. That was about when I got the phone call from Corey saying, yeah, I ran into a local, hasn't seen a deer in 5 years. And I went back.
I was gonna hike up to here to because it looked promising for deer, but I'm like, forget that. I was even gonna go all the way down here and come back this way. But anyway, I came here. Court and I did this loop already when we were scouting. I came back here, and I'm right here now. Anyway, Cypress, you could have been promising, but you sucked. But it is beautiful. It's worth coming to check out. If you come here, stay right there, right on that little island, right where the hiker dude is. Oh my gosh, is that gorgeous? We stayed out here where the S is, like with the boat, but this would be epic camping. I camped right on this, right where about the dot is, because it was closer to the hiking trails. And it's still a good one, but this is gorgeous up here on this little hill up on that little island. Anyway, peace out.